Good evening. I was clicking over. I forgot I was only on 30 seconds. How's everybody doing today? Just trying to get everything organized over here. Obviously rusty from not having been live in a while. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Just wanted to say this video is brought to you by Apimon, home of the world's best-selling bee supplements. So, how's everybody doing? Hopefully good. Let me get my screen popped up on my other screen here, and then we'll be good to go. So let me see if I can throw out the link over here and get it pinned up so we can see if I can pin that message. Good. All right, so been a little eventful. Obviously, I've started working for Apimon, and you know, just actually it's going pretty good. It's obviously the fresh hot apple pie over here. Did pretty well in Tennessee. Can't complain about that. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh no, infomercials. Roy, good to see you. So just trying to get everything back on track. I've got a probably going to be doing some traveling here in the next couple weeks. I haven't heard definitively, but I might be in Alabama this weekend. So turn to some honey. I've got honey going in the creamer all the time. I'm just looking at options at changing maybe the packaging, couple things. So we'll see how it goes with that. So the link is pinned right up there on YouTube. If you choose to come join us, it makes the show go by faster, makes it a little bit easier, more enjoyable for everyone. So come on and step up to the plate and let's chat. Who is this? Phil, what's up? Mike, Randy, Brad, Brian, David. We got everybody. Roy in here. Ben, good to see you. I got the hey Corey, good to see you. Got to see a bunch of people in West Virginia, a few people that have watched the channel. Obviously I haven't been on, right? So when I asked this weekend what night to go on, most people still said Tuesday night. So here I am, Tuesday night. So hopefully we can figure things out. Saturday, excuse me, Saturday's honey sales, I was probably out maybe 3 hours. I don't know, a couple $100 in 3 hours. It's not terrible. Just kind of slows down a little bit later in the day. So I wasn't going to spend my whole day sitting out there, but I was home. So if anybody wanted it, they sure could pick up some honey. I'll tell you what I like about the bee conventions and talking about like creamed honey and things like that, because it kind of brings me back to the original reason that we talked about creaming honey on the streams. You know what? I'm going to unplug this because that's a little bit dominant light back there. Oops, sorry. Back to why I started doing it to begin with there. And being the fact that showing smaller beekeepers how they can impact their bottom line by doing flavored and creamed honeys and things like that. So it made it really really kind of interesting. For me, I was surprised how many people stopped to try creamed honey. It's a great sampling is a great way to, first of all, get people to taste it, maybe understand something different, or maybe there's something you do differently about yours, you know, or a different process. You get to share ideas and definitely do that. So it was a great learning experience for everyone. Let me see. I just got a message. Sorry. and we it was the boss. It was the boss. Mamet was messaging me something, so I had to answer him. But yeah, so I mean, it's crazy. Like you see, Brian's doing a lot of stuff. I just saw his post on there with the candles, and so there's tons of different ways that you can bring that to light. I'm starting to get a pretty big Hispanic community of people coming to buy honey, so that's really nice. Hey, Jack and Danae, see ya. So I do have a few things. I'm going to wait for some people to come in here. I know Brad and Todd were talking about they may come and join us. We'll see. I'm trying to mute my dinger there. And, I've been using Viagra, and I haven't used the Beneral yet, but I've been using the Viagra from Apimon. That's a multivitamin mix to go into your syrup. We have sizes that go all the way up to 2,500 gallons worth. One pack that does 2,500 gallons. So it's a great product. I find myself at the shows explaining how long the company's been in business, and with the Apimon and products, that it's not just the number one. I mean, it's the number one selling supplement in the world. Not in the United States, obviously. It's new here, but in the world. So we are a little bit slow on the uptake here on some things. So hopefully you guys decide to give that a try at some point if you haven't. I haven't ever heard anybody with bad words about it that's using it. Corey, I did have a good year. I guess good is always speculative, right? What's good for me isn't good for somebody else, and what's good for them isn't good for me. But sorry about wiggling the table. But for me, I was able to produce slightly less honey than I did last year. Well, we could say probably 20% less. However, I did it with 50% less colonies. So actually, my yield per colony was up, which is a success. So just depends on if you want to look at it half empty or half full type of glass. I'm choosing to do the half full. Hey, James, good to see you. So it really has, been a good year. As far as the bees are concerned, I've got a lot of work to do out there. As far as, have I lost a couple hives? I sure did. Lost a few hives after the honey flow with the, my notorious beetles and a few wax moths and colonies. Because once the colony starts to shrink and those beetles take hold, then the wax moths move in. So, but other than that, if I was able to do my due diligence every day and get out there and work the frames, work the colonies, and keep the frames, cleaned and sprayed, they would be great. All right. Phil's got 1,000 pounds. That's a good deal. Good deal. I know the Michigan show's coming up soon. The Iowa show's coming up soon. Alabama's this weekend. I believe Texas has another one this year. All kinds. So right now, currently, what I'm doing in my capacity is something that it's not my favorite thing to do. Hey, there's James.
Evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad.
I remember once upon a time, this thing used to ding when somebody would come in the back room. I needed to search. They've made so many changes to StreamYard that it's a little crazy. And guess what? I sold some lemon pepper honey, too.
What can I say?
So it's interesting. I mean, in the conversations about creamed honey that I've been able to have with people at these shows, and I've only done it a couple times, so I'm not any expert by any stretch of the imagination, but it's almost like you have, well, it's not almost like you are actually teaching them what they can do with the honey, right? And different things.
Did you make any recipe cards up?
Not yet.
No, that'll help you a whole bunch.
So I'm going to tell you,
cards sitting up there. They'll grab the recipe cards and then they'll buy the honey.
So obviously I'm there to talk about Apimon's products, right? All the supplements. That's what I'm there for. I'm getting paid for that. However, what I've also found, and we found it by accident when I was in North Carolina, when I had the samplers there, a lot of people stopped to taste the honey. So in even a slower show environment, when there's not as many people, it brings them to the table where you can then talk to them about everything on the table, not just the honey. So it's kind of a lost leader from that aspect. But once you do get them there talking about it, they're very interested. Got another guest here. Howdy.
Hey, old guys.
Yeah, I know.
That's funny because I'm the oldest one here.
And I think I'm the second oldest, aren't I? I'm a little bit older than you, I think, James.
Oh, I hope so. By the way, I'm probably not going to listen to my elders, just for the record.
Oh, that's right. We would expect no less.
So, yeah, no doubt.
But they're talking creamed honey.
So, yeah, creamed honey. I'll tell you what, I've got to find a different way to do it. And not the creaming of the honey part, but the actual storage and carrying. Because the first show that we were just talking about, when we kind of realized, oh, they bought everything that I had in my car because that's all I had in my car. So this time I decided, okay, I'm going loaded for bear, right? I loaded all of it up, right? I'm not going to miss a sale because I don't have the flavor.
That's when you don't sell nothing.
I mean, I sold about as much as I did in the other show. Probably a little bit more than that, actually. But it's the it's just a lot to load up, right? It's a lot to load, unload, load, and unload, and it's all in glass. So the glass makes it even heavier, and so I'm definitely going to try to find a container that's a little bit easier to transport from that aspect. But yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it went well. I've got a 6-page list here of beekeepers, and that's the hardest part for me. So I try to look at everything as how would I like to be confronted, right? Obviously, there's got to be a starting point, an initial contact with somebody, and I'll open this up for anybody to make a comment or how they would perceive it. So the list that I have has no email addresses, so it's either just show up or just call, and either time is not a good thing, right? So I've started going through the list and trying to find their email addresses, whether it's online or wherever, however I can find it, just to reach out as more of a cold introduction of myself before I just pick up the phone and, hey, would you like to extend your car's warranty? You know, you see what I'm saying? So it's difficult for me to just cold call somebody that I've never had any dealings with. And I'm looking at people like Brad. I'll even message Brad most of the time, or James, before I just pick up the phone and just call, right? Because I don't know what's going on in your world at this point.
Yeah, but I've never let that stop me. It's kind of like, Bob, I might show up at your place. And then the next thing you know, you got a whole bunch of shorts from some fool in your driveway.
So it is one of those things that I'm trying to deal with and find a way cope with. But other than that, how are you guys doing?
We're okay.
Her-
Okay.
her-
Picked up my honey from the packer today, which was nice. Got another nice load of creamed honey in.
That's always nice.
Picking away at that last, what did I say? I had 3,600 pounds of honey up until 3 weeks ago, left from last year. So picking away at it.
Perfect.
That's
Take another load next week. I took another load in today, and I take another load in next week. So they do 500 pounds at a time.
has been a little bit of a challenging year as far as if you let it get in your head as far as like I made less honey than I did last year, and I'm pretty sure everybody in this vicinity made less than they did last year by different varying amounts. But what can you do? It's farming, right? So we gotta
exactly what it is.
Figure it out and keep it going as best we can.
I've witnessed too many farmers over the decades, letting it really get to their head.
Right.
And, I realize that I'm not in a position like a lot of people, but that doesn't change the fact that going in, I made that decision.
Right.
This is not going to, make me think it's the end of the world if things don't work out.
Right.
And my season was much the same. Coming out of the barn, one hive, I could have either let it beat me or, set up.
Just do the best you can, right?
Did the best can. You know what? I made the comment to Alan. We were out feeding them last night, and we pulled a couple frames. And I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, nice.
They look good.
That's what they're looking like in there.
Looking really nice.
I can say these bees that I have here this year are probably the best I've ever seen. So
have you done anything to that colony lately, like any treatments or anything?
Yeah. Well, I did my treatment earlier in the year there. I am going to. So I did do a mite shake on them. Actually, I did a mite shake on a bunch of them. So some of them I got zeros, some of them I got ones. 1 out of 40 hives I shook, I got 2 mites in it. So I'm going to hit them with an oxalic acid treatment here right away.
It was kind of a loaded question. I'm kind of fishing for information if people have used Formic Pro and had experiences like that.
Yeah, no, I haven't used any Formic Pro.
Because I've always heard people use Formic Pro and they go, "Oh man, you should see the brood patterns, after the Formic treatment is done," and it's kind of whatever. And
it's the same.
I didn't show a lot of brood patterns on my video, but you can see a couple, and holy cow!
Yep,
unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that in September.
Yeah,
but they come back and really lay it up.
I got like 5.5 frames of brood in a 6-frame nuke.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Well, and those are your winter bees right now, right? So that's kind of the name of the game. And we've got hot weather. It was 26 degrees Celsius. It's here today. I think it's supposed to be 28 or 29 tomorrow. They've in the last call it a week. Let's call it a week to 10 days. They're still going through the pollen patties, so they've probably gone through 1.5 pounds of pollen patty. We gave them another one, which probably will end up being their last one. I've got 3 gallon pails into them already. They're starting to get plugged out. Everything is just coming together. So what started off to be a bad year, looking like it might finish off pretty good, as long as they come out of the barn in April.
That's your report card.
Yep.
1st of May.
Pretty much.
And I envy you guys for that. Well, I know there's struggles. I'm not diminishing the challenges you guys go through, but thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I'm definitely not diminishing that, but you guys do get kind of a break during that period, right? Where there's nothing you can do with the bees.
It's a you know, it's really good. I'm really glad my bees kind of go dormant for a few months. I get a break. I get to breathe. Just kind of it makes them they're not have to feed and worry about temperature fluctuations and worry about brooding, worry about beetles, worry about mites all winter. I don't have to worry about mites all winter. I worry about mites till the end of October.
Right.
And then
And
there's
that's
another way to do about it.
and then that's the whole thing. Like I'm going to say August, September, October are a whole lot different than yours because I'm coming down to D-Day, right? When I
Right.
get to Halloween, it's kind of like game over. Like it is what it is when
Right.
Halloween arrives, right? Um, so as long as I keep the ducks in a row until Halloween, then my chances are pretty good. So in one way, it's a lot nicer and a lot easier, and another way, it's just a little more frantic, a little more crucial. The management decisions you make, and a lot of variables too.
Yeah.
Weather. We can have some crazy weather. We had I think it was 2021. And I was talking to a guy about this today, and it was dry all summer, and then it started to rain, and the canola never grew all summer, and then it started to rain, and the canola all grew in September, and it flowered for the entire month of October.
Which you would think would be good, but that's what the bees are going to store in the hive for the winter.
Yeah, beekeepers are losing their mind. They were out there pulling all this canola honey out of the brood chamber.
Yeah.
Because and we had a Manitoba, we had a record loss that winter because the bees were trying to eat cement all winter, and it doesn't work. So, I mean, that's a crazy scenario, but it can happen. So there's certainly things that you can't easily control.
So can they just not eat it at all? I mean, because here we put people are putting hard sugar bricks right on top of the hive, and they just can't eat canola honey at all once it hardens.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because it's really.
You can put a frame of canola honey out there that let's say you kept it over winter, you put it out, and it'll you can put it out in May, and it'll still be there at the end of June. They just don't touch it. So, and I mean, I pretty much use. So you were saying Halloween, Brad. I pretty much use October 1st. If I don't have everything in that hive that they're going to need for the winter by the 1st of October, because after here being close enough to the mountains, I mean, it could be absolutely gorgeous. It could be absolutely crap.
Yeah, your weather is always unpredictable, but yours is as unpredictable, but the extremes are more dramatic.
Absolutely.
And you're right. I mean, I view it kind of August 1st. You have this many options at the end of July, and August 1st you have this many, and the 2nd you have this many, and so every day your options and your ability to make a mistake, change your mind, or do something different continues to, and so by the time October, middle of October arrives, I'm kind of hedging what I say, because to me, it's not that you can rely on that time, but that mid-October to Halloween is the perfect time for me to hit OAV, right? And not that I'm going to necessarily improve their wintering numbers with those treatments, but I'm killing those mites for when spring arrives, kind of thing.
Yep.
Hey, Jags, good to see you. So it's gosh, it's just, for me, it feels like we're always just beating the clock, right? Once it gets winter, then it's like, oh, I got to get all this stuff done before spring. And then when spring hits, I got to get all this stuff done before honey flow. Oh, and now I got to get everything done.
I'm going the other way. Like, come on, winter. That's the warm season for me now.
That's the well, once it hits winter, are you going down to Grenada?
Winter is woodshop season.
Yeah, no, actually, November the 1st, I will be, November the 1st, I'm heading down there. My boat gets pulled out. We'll get the bottom all washed and scraped on the 4th, and then I'm off for 3 weeks.
Now, once you wash and scrape it, do you actually repaint it before you put it back in, or do you just put it in?
No, it depends on the condition. It won't need to be repainted this year. It was all redone last year, so.
That's well, having been in the Navy, I do like the water quite a bit, but
well, it's going to be different because normally I dig out winter coats, and
now you got to get your winter shorts out.
Now I got to get my winter shorts out. Yeah, exactly. Picture that one, Brad. You're never going to get that out of your head now, are you?
Well, Bob has seen that.
Yeah, Brad don't care. Nope. It was February, and I know he was wearing them.
I picked Bob up from the airport in February in short pants.
There you go.
Did you ever say when you were in the car, why did I do this? Just to...
No, it wasn't really all that cold. It was actually pretty
not
nice.
Until I was leaving. Then
when you were leaving, the weather got a bit nasty.
It got pretty bad then.
It wasn't super cold though. It was a little colder, but you never got.
For you, it was not cold.
You never got.
To give you an example, when I left here, it was 82 degrees. When I got to West Virginia and woke up the next morning, it was 41 degrees, and I was freezing. I'm in the building with you see, I have on long sleeves right now. Even when my AC starts blowing too cold, it's like, no, you cannot do that.
What was your temp today there, Bob?
Oh, outside it was nice. It's got up to 83. It's 74 right now.
Well, that's probably, what is that in C? Because James said it was 26. It was.
Let me flip it over here
as well.
To see.
So that's not too far off.
It's 23 C right now. It got to 29 today.
Okay, well, it got to 26 here today. So, we're
comparable.
Pretty close to what you're doing. We had a nice breeze though.
I'm going down to 6 degrees tonight.
Oh yeah.
Down to 6? What is that, like 40s?
Yeah, that'd be about 40, 45.
Oh, in November, he goes down to Grenada and goes fishing.
Yeah.
Fishing for Carib beers.
Carib, yep. So, actually, it's funny because...
they only use a little bit of formaldehyde in that to sterilize it.
Beer is cheaper than pop. Pop is cheaper than water. So
that's because the beer's dead. That's why they put formaldehyde in it.
Yeah.
But you know what? After 2 months of being on the ocean, boy, is that ever a good beer.
So.
All right. We got Mr. Doug Longman.
Evening, Doug.
Gentlemen.
And then I've got Michael here, but I don't see a camera. So when his camera pops on, I'll add him in.
Doug.
Gentlemen, he must be talking to our audience here right now, Bob.
Yeah.
I know. Look at this, man. I need my hair. I'm gonna start coloring my hair grayer so I can blend in. I stand out like a sore thumb right now.
Well, we should have hair.
Not much, man.
There's a little color there. There's just a little.
I saw Doug had all of his creamed all up.
I earned my gray hair.
That's right.
I was going to say, we're beekeepers. We've all earned it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what my doctor says. What in the world have you been doing to yourself? I've been keeping bees. That's what.
Yeah.
All right, see your hand. Now let me see your face. No, I've got a mic. I've got some. It just says Michael, and it just has their dog. And then when the camera came on, I just saw him waving at the camera.
Yep.
And that has bitten me in the past. And so
you need a full
if
shot.
I can see that face, you cannot come in. Sorry.
Yep.
Usually when you see my face, you kick me out. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Well,
oh, that's changed. We won't let him in tonight.
We're not going to say anything.
So actually, I can't stay.
Bob stands out like an American.
There you go.
That's what Brian said.
I got a crate that I got to finish getting crated up here to. Actually, it's going down to Mississauga, Ontario. And then I got the 4-H'ers honey that I got to deliver here tonight. So get that out to them.
How many pounds do they end up with?
You know, this year we did things a little bit different. So this year, I think that'd be year 3 or year 4. So rather than guide them along the line, I went a little bit different. I says, okay, I am here if you want to ask me a question, or I am here if you want me to come out to your apiary. But I left it to them to initiate. So last year there was a little bit of bickering, because what we would do is we'd put everything together, and then if there was 8 of them at the end of the year, whatever they made, they divided by 8, and away it went. And then you get I was out at the apiary 5 times. You were only out there 2. So this year what we did is each 4-H'er got their own hive, and I made myself available to go and be out there with them, or I made myself available if you got a question, or if you got a call, or if you want help, phone and ask me. So some of them did exactly that, and they did really well. I had one 4-H'er that I think she got about 120 pounds of honey out of the hive. That's not bad for the year we had. I think she also sold 3 nukes off of that hive, and I think she made about 10 queens. So she did very, very well. Some of the other 4-H'ers that didn't show up there at all, their hive pretty much dwindled down to nothing. So everybody gets to keep what they got from their hive this year. So some, made in excess of probably, I don't know, call it $1,000 to $1,500, and others made absolutely nothing. So really, and I think that was a good lesson this year, because it shows them you get out of it what you put into it. So
Yep, you do. That's definitely beekeeping.
So with the hive that made all the honey and queens and nukes and now was that person buying their own frames and all of that for their nukes? So did they have expense they had to take out of it, or was it just you did this and this is the profit? Or
no? So over the past few years, the 4-H club has built up the equipment. So they had the equipment. They also had built, basically drawn comb and everything already too. So if their hive needed it, they had the equipment. They could go and access the equipment. Now, if they sold the nuke, they had to take the money out of that sale of the nuke to replace the equipment of the 4-H club. So it wasn't just a free for all. The queens, they asked me when I was grafting queens. Well, I'm grafting this day. Well, can I come out and learn? Absolutely, come on out. So we gave her own bar, and she grafted in there. She actually got 9 out of 10 the very first crack at it. So kudos to her. She did well, and she listened well.
Send her over here. It's better than I do.
So, it really was open up to them. Like if they wanted to do it, they could do it. So
keep your ducks in a row, okay, Doug? Keep your ducks in a row, okay?
I thought he was quacking up.
Well, he's got a triceratops on his wall.
Yeah, it does look like a triceratops.
Yeah, I got accused of being one of them.
Hey, Doug's an old hunter. Doug's hunting days go way back.
Way back to
he's got a triceratops on his wall.
So I guess with the 4-H there, how do you? Okay, so you've kind of, in essence, taken a step back from the 4-H. So how can you maintain that 4-H club growing in that area at this point, right? So
well, it's new members. So I mean, and it comes up and down. So I mean, sometimes, for example, some of them play rugby. Well, rugby season and honey season just doesn't line up because the bees don't care what your rugby schedule is.
Right.
Or
your work schedule or anything.
Don't care.
But no, they
Let's
don't
be
care.
honest.
But exactly. But there's new members that come in. There's young members that come in. So you just kind of got to keep that going.
Well, so it's almost like the first year students should come out to they need to come to your apiary so they can learn the basics, right?
Right. Absolutely.
I just,
So we did have some junior members this year, but you know, the ones that were here for 3 or 4 years, here's your hive. Go do with it what you will, right? So I mean, one of the 4-H members, she knowingly split her hive multiple ways, and I helped them put a little bit of a business plan together early on in the season. And her business plan is I'll take what honey I can get now, but her plan was to split her bees as many times as she can. So she took that one hive. I think she split it. I think she's got 4 going into the bee barn, you know, and she's in it for the long-term game. And she's like, well, yeah, but if I can get 4 out next year, I can split 2 off of each one of those 4. So now I have 8 newts that I can sell, right? And 4 I can keep and grow. So they're starting to see the long term. Of course, there's a gamble.
Oh shit! You taught them bee math in school.
That's bee math.
You got to get them out of the bee
I
barn.
doubled my colonies this year.
Next year, I can double those and double those and double those.
And then you get 1 out of the barn, and it's, oh well.
Yeah.
Sorry again.
Then there's no loss, right?
If they started, just think though, if they started as a freshman, and assuming that they have some land they can put colonies on, they could really grow their operation to where when they got out of high school, they could have a full-on honey business if they had the resources to do that, bee mathically speaking.
Well, you know, got to look at it too. I mean, remember, I had 1 come out of the barn. I bought 10, and we're 10-fold now from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. Did my honey crop suffer because of it? Sure, it did. You know, but I got some of the best bees I've ever seen going into the bee barn this year, and I got 10 times as many as what I started out with this year. So to me, that's a huge win if I can get them out of the barn.
Got to meet. There's Jeff Thomas just popped in. I got to meet him in West Virginia when I was up there. So I just put out. I mean, I put out a little video of when I was in West Virginia, and a lot of it was just the scenery and, you know, being in the mountains and whatnot. And I saw the sun coming up, and you would be surprised, James. I was actually up before the sun came up.
No. What did the fire alarm go off in the hotel?
So I stopped at a gas station to get some drinks, and I saw the sun coming up over a cornfield, and I was like, you know what? That would make good footage. It looks nice. And I'm sitting there, and as I'm filming it with my little GoPro here, see 4 does just come out of the field and jump. You can see them in the footage, but you gotta be paying close attention to see them. But you know, it's not the triceratops that Doug hunts, but you know, one day.
I thought you were going to say you saw the sun coming up and you weren't sure what that was, so you had to video it to look at.
I had to video it to do some research when I got back. I Google imaged it.
What is that bright thing in the sky? Is that where it came from?
Right.
James, how did the 4-H kids market their honey?
So they basically go to the October fair, but they also market on Facebook. And in fact, today I had a couple of people message me with a picture of their jar saying, "Where can I get some more of this honey?" So they have no problem selling all of their honey that they can make. I mean, the community is really, really good at supporting the 4-H club here. So, and I think they are everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so they've came up with their own logo, their own jars. In fact, Brad, I think they use many of the same kind of jars you do there.
Plain cylinder.
Yeah. So, they've got a pretty good support group here. I mean, let's face it, a lot of the farmers are going to support the 4-Hers, right? We do that with the beef. We do that with the multi club. They do that with the bee club. So it's really nice to see the community come out and support them like that.
I'll be interested to see what they do here because our city just became a bee-friendly city, whatever that means. There's not been too many details released on it, but I think they're going to try to do things to where it doesn't impact the pollinators, spraying and stuff like that to try to make it more natural. Be nice if they said, hey, how about you come down to all these city buildings and just put beehives on them?
Well, it's interesting you said that because I just had a conversation with our city folks here the other day because I was the first person in the city of Grand Prairie to actually apply for, jump through all the hoops, and actually, keep a colony in my backyard. And I keep a colony in my backyard here. Brad can't reach through and hit me here, but I got a flow hive there. And the reason I've got a flow hive there is,
because you wanted the smoker.
No, well, I like the smoker, but no, the neighbors come over. We were over here on the weekend. The neighbors come over. They all bring their jars. We throw some hot dogs and burgers on the barbecue. We make it a social event. We go out there, put the jar on the back, crack the hive, spill some honey, make a mess, and everybody goes home with their jar at the end of the day.
You don't make a mess of the flow hive. They did show that on the commercial and the marketing videos.
Only the first time when you break it and it all goes down into the box.
Well, actually, it doesn't go into the box. It's when you forget about it and it overfills the jars. That's where it makes But anyway, so so it's been 3 years? I guess I've been here now, and I've worked with the city of Grand Prairie to help them refine their bylaws and make all of this work. Well, I got a visit from the Grand Prairie City Police here the other day saying, you know what, they're increasing the fee to keep bees here, and now it's $150, for me to keep bees here every year, or they're going to come and remove the hive. And I says, well, it's right there. Go ahead.
Just let me start this camera first.
Yeah, and but they were adamant. They're like, you know what, we'll come in and and I was like, well, no problem. Like I'll no longer pollinate the 4 orchards that are around here. Sure, they're going to get some kind of pollination, but everybody made all the comments of how the apples and the plums and everything like this just took right off. The year that we had the bees, and neighbors were all happy with their crops and everything. But I'm going to load up the hive and I'm going to take it out because, a business like they're trying to get it on top of what we have an insurance company up here called the Alberta Motor Association, or AMA. A lot of places it's a CAA. They've got they've got bees on top of their buildings and stuff. Well, they don't have to pay a fee. The mall, well, they don't have to pay a fee. And it's like, well, why does the private guy?
Why is that?
And I just finally says, you know what? It's just not worth it. I will relocate my bees. When they go into the barn this fall, they won't be coming back to the backyard. So
they wanted $150 per colony.
You're only allowed to get this. You're only allowed to have 1.5 colonies.
How do you get a half a colony? It's either one or none, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
But these are part of the things that I had to work with them on because, anyways, it's just, it's frustrating when you see the politics, and I hate to say it, but the money grab, come in here. So it's just, to me, I kept it here. It was great for the neighbors. I'd have kids pop by all the time, school classes, and we'd take them out there, dress them up, and they could take a look at the bees. And, for some of the smaller ones, we'd dress them up. We wouldn't open up the colony, but we'd pull the side off so they could watch the bees run around. And all that's going to go the way of the cuckoo bird now. So it's just not worth it.
Or Doug's Triceratops.
Yeah, go.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Brad.
Mike.
No, it wasn't. Hey, it wasn't you trying to get on a little while ago, was it?
No.
Okay. It's just
made me get off the couch.
Said Mike in the bottom. And I was like, it could be Big Mike, but it was
Sneaky
just
Michael. It was Michael.
Michael, yeah, just a little icon. And then I said, well, I can't let you in unless I can see your camera. And then all I saw was the hand in front of the camera waving. And I'm like, nope, not getting me like that. It's happened before. So at least.
But anyways, I'm going to jump off here, Bob. Just wanted to pop in and say hi.
It was good talking with you.
I'm going to go finish this crate and get it off to the boat and get the 4-Hers their honey.
Sounds like a plan.
Have a good night.
Thanks for stopping in. Have a good one.
Good night, James.
So, Doug, what's been going on in your world?
Oh, a little bit of beekeeping, a little bit of running a combine, watching a lot of rain.
Did you already sell out of all your creamed honey? Because I know last year it went pretty quick.
No, I got about 4,200 pounds done, and probably half of that's gone, but I've got a bunch more. I'm starting again tomorrow.
That just sounds crazy to me. You know, here's the difference between Canadian beekeeping and American beekeeping. So when I was at the show and I was talking about creamed honey, I said, you know, I've got a creamer that holds about 300 pounds. And they were like, whoa, that's a lot. And then I'm thinking, Doug here is just saying, I've already creamed 800 pounds?
About 42, I think I've got.
4,200 pounds? Which means you have more to still cream,
Yeah.
right?
What's the capacity of your creamer, Doug?
It'll hold about a barrel. Little more than a barrel.
So
what kind of creamer is that? That's like 600 pounds.
It's a Lyson.
More than a barrel. That's 700 pounds.
I get about 600 out of it.
Okay, so it's a 600-pound Lyson, eh? Wow, because my packer, he's got a big one of it. It's 500 pounds. I wish it was 600 because I can take 600 at a time, but I only take 500.
Do you find more honey in the creamer makes it easier to cream?
Not really.
Because for mine, my creamer, obviously I'm only doing smaller batches, right? And working with less honey. But I find when I have 2 or 3 buckets in there, you know, 180 pounds, it's like half full and it's getting more of the mixing bars. So it seems to do a better job than when it's lower and it's only getting like 1.5 of the mixing bars. So I think it's just getting mixed better. I've never had it filled up with all the way though.
Your fellow probably has the same creamer, Brad. But if you fill it up to about a half inch from the top, you'll get about 600 pounds.
No, his is actually horizontal. It's a Sunny Bee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, it's an OTM because they don't make it anymore.
Who we got here? Who's that guy?
Hey, boss.
Never heard of him before.
Why don't you jump on here and say hi?
Pop in. It's a free show.
It's 2-2 here right now, so we need more Canadians.
Well, Bob's half Canadian.
I'm half Canadian now.
Yeah.
I've been there. You know, I've gone full Canadian when I come up next time and I'm wearing short pants outside.
In February.
And then they'll say, never let them see you go full Canadian.
That thought requires pictures.
I'll do it. Oh, for the right price, I'll streak naked down the street.
There we go. Another sleepless night coming up.
Bob's a quarter Canadian.
Get that picture out of my head.
That's funny. Mike, what's been going on for you?
Well, not much. Yeah, apparently last year when I caught my door trim on my honey house with the plow, I left a big opening in the bottom.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. And
big enough for one or more bees?
And then I was down for the count for a few days. And I went there and I just was amazed how many bees were at my door. And it looked like there was 3 swarms inside.
You caught 3 swarms inside your building?
The bees were in robbing my honey supers.
Oh.
They found their way into the building. So I went to the store and I bought some foam fill. And I put my bee suit on. There's a lot of bees stuck in foam around my door. And I shut the door and I walked away.
Mm-hmm.
In 30 million years from now, they'll find Doug's Triceratops and your fossilized bees.
Then I went in and opened the door, and the pile of bees at the door, I pushed them away with the door, and that's probably 1.5 inches off the ground.
Oh, man.
So then I got the shovel out. They were all alive. I got the shovel out, and I just swept them into like Ian, but I put mine outside for the night. Then I did it again the next night. They couldn't get in anymore, and they just kept coming out of the supers.
You have a little hive outside?
Yeah, but it's not going to hold 6 hives.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. That's a
I
good
did put one outside.
a good
I don't know if they robbed that too.
a good decoy for them. They'll if they get, because they'll only be in the honey house for a day, and then they don't remember where they lived, so they'll go outside, but they just hang around. So we put a little hive there.
Yeah, I put a, well, the only reason I had a hive out there is I was extracting, and all of a sudden I found some brood comb.
Still
So I
haven't worn my new shirt.
Perfect.
I decided to take it out. I was going to shake the bees off it.
Yeah.
I said, boy, that's a lot of brood comb. And then I
No
looked in,
queen.
and it was eggs and larvae.
No queen.
Oh, that was queen. The
Yeah.
stuff had been in there for a week.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. She'll wait. She'll hang out. Yeah, that's a good trick. You just put that there. I actually put one in my honey house. Put one way up in the corner over in the far side, and every bee in that honey house finds their way to
Troy
the
Hall has a window,
little
and he
nook.
just kind of like Ian, he's got a hive
Yep.
sitting right under the window.
Yeah.
So he just opens it and brushes them out.
The and by the way, I guarantee when you said you swept them up with in a shovel like Ian, it may have resembled Ian's, but it's not like Ian's. I know. I've done that job.
These were all
Done that
live,
job.
Bob.
I've done that job. Did you have a wheelbarrow there to put them in?
No,
Yeah,
I had to do this so I could get into my honey room. This was in the first 2 feet.
That is a great one-time experience.
I imagine.
The bee suite. And I only did what he already had in a pile in the floor. Part of that. I mean, if that went neglected in there, it would be crazy. I mean, if you just like did it once. Hey, we just need to get him an industrial sized Roomba that it just goes and
You can get those. Yeah.
Just go through the bee or go around the bees and just vacuum them all up.
They'll clean up you can clean up the wood shop. It'll actually pick up little pieces of wood. Apparently you didn't do it right.
Oh yeah, that's true. He was getting chastised by the boss
because he's giving him back for how he did it.
You see my Canadian wear. I had a hoodie on, long sleeve shirt, and a winter coat from South Carolina, and it was still cold. Just to let you know, in my opinion.
I would have been in a flannel shirt.
And the weather wasn't that bad.
No, until I left. When I left, it
wasn't real cold.
Pretty tough. But yeah, that's good times. Good times. I'm hoping to get back up there this year. For sure. If I can get Mehmet will make the trek. He likes to go across the United States. I wonder how it'd be to go across Canada. Just start over by Alex, go by Brad and Ian, Doug, go all the way out to James is out there. I had my winter weight on. That's what it was. I packed on my winter coat.
Yeah, so did I. Of course, I just keep mine.
Had no snow.
Yeah, there wasn't much snow. It was actually a really nice winter.
Yeah.
No, until the day I left, and then it started coming down. But I don't know that it stuck or anything after we left. But
yeah, that was a pretty mild storm.
Yes, it is. Alabama. I believe Alabama's show this week is going to be pretty good. I think Randy Oliver is going to be there. Let me see. Randy Oliver, Dr. Garrett Slater, Bob Binney, Jerry Hayes. He stole our trademark topic of Beekenomics, the billion-dollar industry within your hives and honeybee nutrition. Mahmoud Ramazani. See, I was putting in work.
Hey, boss. Yeah, there's Bob shoveling my deck.
I bet he didn't.
Working?
Hey guys,
What's going on?
Ian.
just passing through, seen you guys on. I haven't seen you online for a while, Bob.
I have not been here. I've been AFK, away from keyboard. You know, I had to tell you what YOLO stood for. So, or no, what was it? Was it YOLO, or was another term that you were asking what the term was one time?
YOLO? I don't know. What does YOLO mean? I forget if you told me.
Oh, it was fear of FOMO, fear of missing out, right?
Oh, yeah, fear of missing out.
YOLO is you only live once, which is kind of how I beekeep. Just, well, I only live once. If it messes up, I'll do it again. Do something else. But yeah, and now I'm working for
teenagers. They're using all these terms. I don't know what the heck they're talking about all the time.
they speak in code, and then you ask them to speak English, and they do it improperly. But they can code you to death. JK, just kidding. You know, sometimes I have to actually ask my daughter, "What does that mean?" Oh, okay, great, we got you now. But yeah, I had a job. Well, I have a job now, but I had a job working for Spectrum, our cable company, which is a big national company. And I decided I was going to take a job in the beekeeping industry with Mehmet and Apitablet. And
so you'll be touring around the countryside.
yeah, he kind of, this is his words, not mine. He envisions me to be the Tom Nolan of Apimon. So that'll be an interesting trek.
I get the analogy, but for the record, there's only one Tom Nolan.
There's only one Tom Nolan. But, you know, you understood what I was getting at. So
yes, like I said, I get the analogy.
So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Just started there. Matter of fact, haven't even gotten paid the first time yet, but went to West Virginia to a conference up there, and you know, just getting started with it, really. A lot of it is for me right now is just information finding, trying to contact primarily commercial guys. I think they've been to about every show they can go to, and as far as for, you know, sideliners and backyard people and stuff like that. So I've got a list of some commercial guys. The problem is for me, and I don't know how you handle this, Ian. I kind of know how Brad is because we've talked about it before. But when a salesperson just either shows up or just calls and wants to burn your time up on the phone, it's kind of inconvenient in my eyes to somebody that's trying to get stuff accomplished, right? What do you feel the best way to reach out? For me, it's usually email or maybe a text message or something like that. Hey, if you got some time, I'd like to talk to you or something like that. I'm not a big cold calling guy. I like to, you know, at least send a message or something ahead of time and say, hey, what's a good time to contact you or something like that.
That's a hard one. I mean, we got salesmen coming around the farm all the time, and they play the game. You know, if you don't show up, there's no potential for a sale at all.
Right.
Salesmen, but the guys come with this like a what do you call it? Like they'll come with an offer. Like the machine salesman would buy last week, and you know, rent this new tractor for a little while, try it out. You know, just a little bit of a
incentive.
Ticket, yeah.
Something that only takes a few minutes.
Guys are working all day, and the last thing they want to listen to is a salesman trying to, you know, make money off them. So so you're in a tough spot. There's a lot of ways the guy is going to come to you.
Right. So you guys have, when I say you guys, meaning like when I was in Manitoba, it was primarily commercial beekeepers.
A lot of them, yeah.
In here, it's primarily, like it shows, it's primarily sideliners and backyard guys. And the commercial guys don't, I mean, you might get one or two, but mostly not commercial guys. So just finding the information you need to even contact people, even if you have a list, then it's like, well, I don't want to risk my one shot to get in front of somebody by making them mad because I just randomly called them out of the blue, right? So I'm trying to get a plan together.
Well, best you can be is just be there and know, have something to offer and then present it. Like,
right.
You have a presentation you want to provide them and stats and everything like that.
I need to develop that because to this point, none of that exists. And if it does exist, it's in Turkish, right? So that's kind of where I've been tasked to kind of get that developed.
Yeah, you need to be like the guy selling DFM, that strong microbial. He's there, he's everywhere, and he has the information and he has all the claims. Whether or not they're backed up or not, I don't know. Some guys say it is, some guys say it isn't, but he's there all the time. Same with Tom, with the formic. Like, he sells the formic. That's the
right.
reason why. Yeah, so it's a matter of just being in their face and always being there, I guess. It's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah, it's it is a lot. And, obviously we're all based on what we do, right? And when I say that, I mean, it's a results driven business, sales, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's all about, what have you done for us lately, right? That's sales in general. But, I think they understand it takes time to do this. I mean, no offense to any sideliners or backyard beekeepers, but because I am one. But we have 50 million questions in 5 hives, right? And you go to a commercial guy, they're like, what does it do? I mean, this was my experience at the show. What does it do? What will it do for me? How much is it? Send me this much, or I'm not interested, right? It's pretty cut and dry from that aspect because you guys are more of a benefit to price kind of thing. And it looks like that, there's definitely, from the experience that I've had at shows and conferences, the guy with 2 hives will ask you 50 questions. The guy with 50 hives will ask you 2 questions. So it's just that way. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the YouTube or what has kind of moved it that way, but that's just been my experience.
Yeah, there's that. But like Dad was in the bull business for quite a while. He said you have 10 customers, each of those 10 buy a bull each. That's 10 bulls. If one customer buys 10 bulls,
right?
So you gravitate towards that one customer buys 10 bulls because he has more value on them. But you can lose that one guy a lot easier than you can lose the other 10 guys, right?
Right.
So you want a kind of a mix in that too. You
right. So
spread your target a bit.
Stabilize your business a bit.
Yeah, you want to sell to everybody.
Oh yeah, for
sure. So where are you off to next then?
Well, the last I heard, I might be going to Alabama this weekend, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. They tried to contact the show, and the show has not responded as of yet. So we'll see. But there's plenty of them coming up. North Dakota, South Dakota, Michigan has one. Iowa's got one. So I imagine I'll be doing some driving. West Virginia was only like 5.5 hours drive. Alabama would be like 6 hours. So I think there's one in Washington State, but he talked to a few people and they said it's kind of small and probably not worth the cost of the flight and the hotel and everything to go out there. So, which I don't know. That might be what actually makes it worth going, because this will sound kind of weird, but because of that reason, there may not be that many people going, which if you show the interest that you're willing to go and do that, then that says a lot to the beekeepers in the area as well, right? So it could get. Yeah, no love for the
No
Northwest.
love for the Northwest.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I'm going to do my best to Americanize a lot of stuff with Mamet. And it's a lot of things. I mean, it is what it is, right? The like labeling and stuff like that. The way things are phrased on the labels, like super zone. If I said, "Hey, don't put this in the super zone," you guys would probably be like, "What?" Most people are like, "What does that mean?" So yeah, give you the RCA dog look, like, so there's some phraseology that's got to happen there, and try to get things changed up a bit. But he has taken heed to a few of the suggestions, like the new tablets that have come out are not as proud as the old tablets, and they're in a different packaging, which is sealed better. And they've done some things for the commercial guys where now people like you, Ian, can get it tablets in a bag, in a box, one box with a whole case of tablets in it. So, you open up the one box and your guys can just grab them out and put them on. So that makes it a little bit easier. Instead of your guys having to rip open 20,000 packs of tablets, they can open up cases and just grab what they need out of it like that. So there are some things happening. Even the Viagra and Beneral, the multivitamin and the mineral supplement, he makes one that's good for 2,500 gallons. So, he is definitely commercial sizing some things to try to make it better for the commercial beekeeper as well. But, still keep the smaller packs for the sideliners and hobbyists and backyard guys as well. So just everything takes time and money, right? And if it's like me, I usually have time and no money, or money and no time. It just works out that way. Works out that way for sure. Let me see.
You all ready for winter, Doug?
Still running the son-in-law's combine, but she's pretty wet here right now.
Yeah, you guys got some rain your way. How much did you get this last blast?
On the weekend up to today, about 2.5 inches.
That's too much.
About 30 miles west of us, they got 5.5 inches in 8 hours.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe you got that, but that's good you missed it.
Yeah, that's just to the west of us.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much. We missed, well, so far, we missed the rain. Went east of us, the clouds parted, went west of us, hail both sides of us. It's nerve-wracking. Crops out there, we got to get it in. We need 3 days to get the canola, and we just need the sunshine.
You, what, a couple more weeks you'll be bringing the bees in the barn, or?
No, we're still feeding. We're medicating. I'm going around with oxalic acid now. Just drop some counts and bulk feeding. So it'll be another 3 weeks at that, just to get some more weight on them. They should be ready to go second week of October. Then we'll just see when they come in.
A little bit before.
Last week of October, no sooner than that.
How are you liking your new bazooka?
Boy, that's quite the device. I have mixed feelings with it, actually. I love the reason why I keep using it, because I love the coverage, the penetration of the oxalic into the colony. It's good. It's just like the original VM, just without all the cumbersome nature of cords and generators and air compressors and all kind of that kind of stuff. So it's the same type of administration of the product, just as finicky as heck. Like it's like I know what I'm doing, so I know what kind of dose I'm looking for. So I'm working away, and then all of a sudden I got to tweak the propane a little bit to the heat, or I have to adjust the air a bit, or my dose, or I have to clean out the nozzle, or residues build up. So I know how to run it, and I can do it very efficiently. But it's something that I would not be able to pass on to one of my hired guys. Like if I sent my hired guy with it and said, go treat, like it, I have 4 instant VAPs. This turbo equals 2 of them. So I'm going double speed. I have 2 guys going on 4, and they're covering a lot of ground. I sent those guys out with those handheld units, and I know for a fact that every hive is going to get 3 grams. It's going to get 3 grams the way. All they got to do is press a plunger. It's going to get the same application to every hive all day long until they run out of battery. If I send them out with this big bazooka thing, I just have no confidence that they'd be able to treat the colonies properly. Or they'd be calling me, hey, Ian, it's not working. Hey, it'd just be a pain in the royal ass. So it'll be something that I use, but it probably won't be used very often because I don't want to do the job. I'm trying to push the work onto somebody else.
Do you find it changes how it works according to like humidity, weather?
Yeah, I was in a windy yard today, so the wind was getting into the burn chamber, causing me grief. A calm yard, boom, 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 right through until it plugged up, then unplugged it. But then the one yard it started to rain, so that, it stopped me. But it's frustrating, but so appealing because it provides the coverage that I'm looking for. There's that penetration. I'm just seeing with oxalic acid vapor treatments, there's inconsistency. And I think it's because the cluster is too tight or maybe it's loose that day. And we're just getting different types of treatment within the nest, I think, because I'm going every day. So it's like, what day is like today, or is it in the morning or in the afternoon? So I like this thing because it really injects that oxalic into the cluster. It's not consistent.
Hey, Morgan.
Hey, how you doing?
I think one of the big pluses is you're not down on your knees.
Oh boy, yeah. With the Instavap, I'm up and down like this all day.
Yeah. We use the Instavap, but we do it through upper entrance, and we're on doubles, so we're not bending. Works good that way.
Yeah, because my back is tired at the end of the day when I'm doing it. I really don't care because I'm pushing it on to somebody else. I shouldn't say that. I hope they're not watching this. But it's the truth of the matter. It's their job, right?
I was wondering how long it would take you to get into that full mask.
Yeah, I cheaped out, and I have 2 full masks for the hired guys, and then there's $80 one because I wanted to come to the yard with them. And that day, I didn't notice it through the day, but that evening, my eyes, that next morning, I could feel my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, whoa, that's not good.
That's a nice mask. That's the one I use. I just love it.
Yeah, we got the same.
And I tell my guys, you get out of the truck, put it on before you open the cabinet to get to your Instavats, because there's residue dust all the time.
Yeah.
So I tell them to wear it all the time, even when you're done the yard, when you're going to clean out, keep it on while you're cleaning it out, because you're just going to get little bits of residue throughout the beginning and the end of the yard. So I say, put it on the truck, then take it off in the truck. And that's what I was doing too. And it made a little bit of difference. See, I don't feel my lungs right now.
Yeah.
Damn, I hate that stuff though. Oh, oxalic acid. It's one of the things I'm hating it so much. I'm considering formic again. Gosh.
Well, treatments are like feeders, aren't they? The best treatment is the one you hate the least.
Yeah, that's about it.
My
counts have been climbing 3%. Every once in a while, I'll get a yard 5, and I'm pushing it back down to 2 for this last round. So hopefully 2 more rounds should knock it below 1. I'm hoping.
The only thing other than for me, I've got the ProVap, so I still have to stretch a cord if I go to use it, which I haven't used it in 2 years. But it's, for me, after I bit the bullet the first time with the oxalic acid, and the pain in the ass level was so high, first off, for me. And then the constant shifting on what's the appropriate use of it, right? Like when I started, I think it was 1 gram per box was the legal limit, and then use it 3 times, once a week for 3 weeks was the accepted dose. And then the next year it changed, and the next year it changed, and the next year it changed, and use glycerin and mix it up and do extended release. And it's like, there's no doubt it has some effect on the mites. That's given, but nobody knows. Nobody can really say that even at the current levels, if it's the right way to do it, or are the mites becoming more tolerant, which is why we're having to use more and more oxalic acid and do the treatments more often, right? It's almost like, I hate to say COVID, but it's almost like the COVID vaccine. Here, take this because this is going to fix you. And they don't really know if it's going to fix it or not, right? So that's the only issues that I really have with oxalic acid is nobody has appropriately explained why these things are continuously changing and why we continuously have to add more treatments or more oxalic acid to the colonies. If anybody's got a good reason why, please let me know. Because inquiring.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, I put it on and it knocks mites down.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's the bottom line, right? It does knock them down. Bob, it's about sales, DC says. Well, you know.
Ian, have you ever used the dribble?
Yeah, I did one time, but like I did it in the fall, and it wasn't very healthy for the winter nest. If our winter was a little bit shorter, I think we'd be better off. I've talked to other commercial beekeepers. One in particular last winter didn't want to use the vapor like me. I'm complaining about the vapor. Same with him. He hates it, and he had a bad winter because I think they ingested it and it burnt their stomachs, and they didn't winter very well.
Now, what luck did you have with the formic?
Formic? Oh, I'm still dabbling with that. I just can't seem to. It's maybe because I'm looking too close. How's your colonies look, Brad?
Really nice. Really nice.
I think you had
especially those new ones. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, especially those new ones. Man, they are just blowing up. I just hope I can keep them contained until winter.
Yeah.
You know, I need those bees to get through winter, but I think they'll be okay.
If I'm doing my math the way it looks like it's happened, you hit them just at the right time. Actually, the only time we could have done it because it's been so damn hot.
That formic treatment was bang on. Yeah, because as soon as it was done, it went way up to 30, what was it, 36 degrees or something?
Yeah, because Tom talks about that rebound right after you shock that nest, and then that queen goes in overdrive when you needed them to go in overdrive. You might have built just a perfect nest doing that.
And the whole apiary, I've lost one queen. Since say 1st of August. Well, not all. The ones out here in the middle, the big ones, they're a year old or more. And I lost one. I think she was 2 years old though. I don't know if it was a formic loss, because I don't queen check them at that point. But that's pretty good. My summer cull has been extremely low. Very, very pleased.
All we've done is 08 this fall, and we've got 5 rounds in, and I've been checking, and very seldom can I find a mite.
Well, that's good.
Hopefully it stays like that.
You're doing those 5 days apart.
The bird nest by now. Yeah, so all the mites should be emerged. You think you'd find them if they're going to be there?
Yeah, we did them 4 days apart now.
Yeah.
A lot of treatment.
Yeah, 2 of us doesn't take long only.
Morgan's fish tank going crazy over there.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
I was going to have to get up and go to the bathroom.
Maybe you have to go. Hey, I did. As soon as he came in, I had to go. That's what I did. It's subliminal. That's funny.
I wonder what that was.
Yeah, this is fish
I
tank.
thought it was the old tinnitus acting up again. It's just,
But yeah, I mean, so for me this year, I mean, I'm calling it a success, right? So obviously we all had die-offs over the winter. Some good, some bad, you know. But my production per colony was up, so I didn't lose as much honey as I did colonies. So that was a win to me. So not a bad situation.
Now, to tell you a little story that was cute. Both my daughters want to become beekeepers. So the one daughter who's in the university right now, I give her 2 colonies for her birthday, and then I give her another one that thought was going to die, and then it come back, made her honey, then swarmed off, and the queen was no good. So then we dropped a frame of eggs and it's come back and all this. So she's busy, learning about bees and building a little apiary, the start of it. And the youngest daughter wants to be a beekeeper, and she's just kind of sitting there waiting. And I said, well, you got to be, maybe next year I'll give you a beehive. And very patient, she's waiting. So Ray Oliveras gave me 25 queens to make some bulk bee splits, and she's there helping us make them up. And we make them all up, and I come to the last queen in the box, and I said, do you want this one to make a beehive? And her eyes are like sausage. Hey, you're going to be a beekeeper? I said, yeah, let's start up a beehive. So I gave her this queen. We put it in, and she's the one in my videos there. So we're checking, and the darn thing, if it would turn into a drone layer, the only queen in that box. It was a tough lesson right off the start. So she sat there kind of demoralized, and she said, well, now what am I going to do? I'm going to get another queen from somewhere? I said, no, this is what you do. So she has a sticker in the front with L for Abe Lee. I said, I took the sticker off that hive and I put it onto another one. He said, you can do that? He said, I can do anything.
and then rob the queen out of there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so she's learning the art of switching tags.
Corey says, Ian, are your queens brooding after your Apilife FAR treatment?
No, I'm not sure if that shut them down or if they're just naturally shutting down at that time. But there's still capped brood emerging, and I think that's why I'm still seeing 2% mite counts, because there's emergence of mite still as it finishes off. But she's done. We're plugging her right up now. I don't want any more brood right now. I want no more brood. I want to be able to get those damn mites.
Making those girls beekeepers, Ian, that could be child abuse.
They're working on the weekend too. Yeah, gee whiz.
That's the I tell you what, I've got that out yard out in Lexington, and I've got Zach. He's a autistic fellow that I've been kind of mentoring he wanted to learn to keep bees. So I put a couple swarms that I caught out there, and another nuke I had. I moved it to a 10 frame. And last time I went out there, we fed them, and I said, now what you could do, because it doesn't require you to actually get into the colony while I'm not here, make sure there's sugar water in these containers at all times. So every couple of days, he's like, okay, they finish another one. So just keep giving it to them, and I'll come out there and we'll check and see if there's any increases in there. So he's been on point trying to keep the feed on them to make sure that they, finish up getting ready for our pseudo winter. I can't call it winter when you guys are here. It's just our not summer period, and to let them experience, getting the nest built up. I said, now I'm trying to explain to them that God willing, they make it through the winter, and in the spring they really explode, and that's what we're kind of banking on over there. And then we'll start making some splits and getting to go. But he's got his own colony. He's bought a licensed poly hive, and it's right in between, or right out there. And so one of the swarms that I caught, I deemed that this colony is yours. These colonies are mine, but this one is yours. And we will try to get that up and running and give them the whole experience next year when spring comes and what we need to do and what we're looking for and things like that. Right now, it's pretty much do a hive inspection. Look, this is larva and this is eggs and this is, the basic stuff. But he's coming along. We're getting him going. So it's been a neat experience. And not even, I'll say it may not even be that neat of an experience for him, but it's been a great experience for me, right? To go out there and see somebody that is excited about keeping bees. And I tell you, if he knows I'm coming, by the time I pull my truck up in his yard, he's got his full bee suit on, got his tools, his smoker, his bee brush. He's got it all. He's ready to go, right? So that's a neat experience. So I know you guys have all mentored somebody, but it's really kind of the first person that I've had that's shown interest in actually learning and being around it. So it's been really interesting for me.
Mike, how's harvest your way?
I've only made about halfway. A lot better than last year. We had a fantastic early season, and then we got our drought late. But
Yeah,
I still have supers on 90% of my hives.
Oh, that's late for you, isn't it?
No, because I don't do I usually do it in early September. I was injured last week, so I couldn't do anything.
Oh,
I was telling the boys how I hit my trim on my honey house and left a big hole that I didn't know about. And while I was down, the bees found their way in. What a mess! I bet you there's 2 or 3 hives worth of dead bees on the floor.
Did the how many colonies are you up to now, Mike?
I don't know. Somewhere around 200 with my nukes and stuff. I probably have 100 production hives. And a lot of them were this year.
Right.
Would you say you were in drought conditions or just dry?
Not as last year we were in drought. It was awful.
Yeah.
The year before I made about 3,000 pounds. Last year I made 700 pounds with 20 more production colonies.
Oh,
I didn't even average 10 pounds a hive.
Yeah.
This year I had some hives that had 150 and other ones that have 1 super. But I got rid of a lot of old queens this year. It's been a couple challenging years. Last year my mother ended up with cancer and died.
Yeah.
And then my father died, and I had 2 surgeries. So last year they got neglected, and this year it's a little better.
So it does turn out, it looks like both of the people that tried to join the chat that we wouldn't let in were not beekeepers. So
I have to say I've enjoyed your old combine videos from the rebuild to watching your kids run around with it.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And it's nice to get the combine into the field and working after doing all that work, restoring the engine and the machine.
Other than the amount of the new ones do, how does it do like cleaning up versus a new one?
It does a really good job. Like the new machines, they have capacity and they do a spectacular job harvesting the crop. I would say that old 21, I tell you, she's not any worse. It's not throwing anything out the back, and the sample's clean, very well thrashed. I mean, this machine's seen a lot of acres. It's just worn right out. The cylinder, I'll send you a picture. I'll show you the cylinder, but beside the cylinder wall is actually worn right through from the grain going through. So there's wheat as I was combining being spit out the side of it because there's hole right worn through. So she's seen a lot of crop. But she did a really good job. We parked it in the shed because the shoe come apart. Where the sieve is, the chaffer in the sieve, shaking back and forth, and the one joint that moves the shoe, it flew apart. So when that flew apart, it wasn't moving the chaff from underneath the concave, and it built up, and plugged the walkers, and spun one of the beaters on the top and plugged her right up. So that's what we were doing when I had my boy stuck inside the back of it, just trying to figure out what the heck was wrong with it.
What did they
The
think?
first time that combine's ever seen 85 bushel wheat. That field we had it on there. The other field was 90. That one is 85 bushel wheat. Probably the best field it's seen is probably 35 bushel wheat. And I had, when we first nosed it in, when I first turned it on, first got it in, I lifted up the header so I didn't take too much straw, and I took it really slow. And then we got around, and I was only taking half a cut because I was afraid it was going to plug. And then I was listening to the engine. I said, this girl can take more. So I put her over, and I put her right down, balls to the walls, and boy, she worked. And she took it all. It's like, it's an amazing sound. That Chrysler 6, just going. I don't know how those guys had any hearing left at the end of the day after they worked in that thing. It just belted out. But now we worked it that evening, and then the next Sunday, I took the afternoon off, and we combined all Sunday afternoon. We combined all afternoon, and we got 500 bushels. That big combine goes up and down the field. That's 500 bushels. But we combined all Sunday afternoon, and then the next, I think my daughter, she was a nurse, and she wanted to hop on too, so I saved 2 acres for her. So I think it was a Thursday she come back out, and we run it for about another hour before it broke then. But after that work, the engine that sounded different. I think it broke in. It wore itself in. It wasn't raw sounding anymore. Now it's got that punch to it. I just started up in the shop here to move because we had to move the old combine around to get the new combines in when it rained. And I started up. It's like, ooh, that sounds a little bit different. This got a more throat to it. So it's been really fun. I tell you, I was really nervous pulling it up to the field and putting it in for the first time because I don't know what I'm doing when I'm fixing engines. I tore this thing apart. I had somebody else recondition the engine. I put it all back together, and it just the back of my mind was, did I tighten all those bolts properly? Have that engine fly apart on me. But no, she held together.
What did the kids think of working in the dust?
My one daughter, she wants to be a farmer. She was like, I could ride this thing all day, she says. But she, it was kind of neat because she was on that thing, and she did a hopper load, and then we put her on the cat, and she's seen the stark difference between this, 1949 machine to this modern machine with computers and GPS and capacity and all that kind of stuff. So she's seen the transition of what the farm was and what the farm is now. And it's quite the difference.
So Ian, you've been playing Tom Sawyer with your kids. You make something nice and shiny and new, and they're like, "Oh, I want to try it. Sure, do these 2 acres." And I want to try it, and you do these 2 acres, and by the time you're done, all your kids have cycled through, and your work's done.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing with the bee operation too.
Oh, you want to be a beekeeper? Here, you work these 500 hives.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, my daughter, she worked for me for 5 years in the honey farm, and then went to schooling for a nurse. And now she's got a job as a nurse full time. She actually has a full time placement. She just got it, but nice. She has a week off. And she come back, and she's helping us feed and treat right now. She come back to do bee work, believe it or not.
That's nice.
Told her to take some time off, but she said, Dad, I love it.
This is time off to her.
Yeah, change of pace, right?
A little change of pace, and gets to be around the family. Because if she was at the house, you guys would all be out in the field anyway. So she might as well be with you.
That's exactly what she said. Yeah.
I mean, even when I was up there and the cows got loose, Dad came out, right? And he's like, "We got to get these back in."
Night, y'all. I got to get up at 4 to go to drive a truck. So.
All right, Morgan. Thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Morgan.
Y'all take care now. Bye.
Bye. All right.
Good evening, Todd.
Hey,
I
how
see
are you,
Brad.
Mike? Hey, Ian, how are you
Good.
doing?
Good, good. How are you? How's the weather your way? Are you dry and hot?
Yep. And there's a fire right over there up in the Sierras, so it's been smoky all day. No ash though.
Okay.
It usually rains ash when the winds come down the hill in the mornings, but it's not been bad.
Okay. So your flows are all done now?
Yeah, I didn't have a flow this year. I had a commercial guy move in on me that outnumbered my bees like like 10-1. So I didn't have much of anything.
Yeah.
So, and even if you didn't park there, that blue curl, which you've tasted, it comes in August. It didn't come in. I would say the bloom was probably at 25%, but all of a sudden it started blooming right now, but it's too late. So see how much
the rains brought it on again, or what's the deal?
No, well, we had a rain. That's how that fire started up there. The third week of August, it rained pretty good for 4 or 5 hours. It was a lightning strike that started the fire. So we did get some rain. So the blue curl was, drinking up some of the rain, but it's not going to make it. Yeah.
Doug, you were in drought most of the year, weren't you?
I'm always in drought.
No,
You're always-
no, we were really wet all year.
Oh, you're wet. Okay. So then further east of you would have been
Yeah,
further east of you would have been drought condition.
no,
then.
no. Well, up north and west of us.
Northwest.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
you get west of Saskatoon, up in through there, they've been dry.
Have they had
Well,
rain since?
I don't think they've had a lot, but they've had some here lately.
Oh yeah.
No, our crops here, wheat's probably running 70 to 90 bushel to the acre, eh? Real good crops.
Yeah, good wheat year this year. Boy.
Yeah.
Good wheat.
But late.
Okay. Yeah, we're done our wheat now. It's all in the bin. We started the grain dryer right off the start. Big crop. We wanted to take it right away, so we took it.
Yeah, my son-in-law, he started with the air on it right away, but we got 1 day left in the wheat, and then just flax.
It was patchy in Manitoba. There's places it was dry, hadn't had a rain all summer since the spring until now, of course.
Yeah,
And then other places that had enough rain, like we had just timely rains coming through, but severity, we had some severe weather coming through. Our farm has missed it so far. Maybe we're going to get it coming up here, but it's hard on the nerves.
yeah, I was down by Souris, and they were getting pretty dry in around there.
They were dry there too. Yeah.
But a strange year, like we've been cool most of we'd get 1 day up in the 30s, and then the temperature would drop right back down. A couple of days in July, nighttime temperatures, we hit 4 degrees twice in July.
Boy, we never got that.
Yeah.
No, our corn grew. It hasn't actually. It's finishing off now, of course, but boy, it was good growth year. Like for our specific little area here, if you were to count the tree rings, this would be a growth year. Just everything was so lush. Clover is a clover year. Amazing.
This is just a photo of the. I don't know if it'll let me zoom that in or not. No, Facebook being weird. But this is kind of how I was saying with the bulk tablets.
Well, that's a little more handy.
Especially when you going out there, you just have the cases, and then you can just cut them open. Makes it a little bit easier for you as a commercial guy.
Does he have them priced a little different?
Yeah. I can get with you on that. Let's see if I can. They got new. There you go. New buttons on the bottom of StreamYard to figure out. They changed everything. Even my little intro video. I went to click to run the intro video, and it said, "Oh, if you have the premium membership, you can run the video." And it was like $80-something a month US. I'm like, how do you go from free to $80 a month? That's like out of the drug dealer's playbook, right? Give you a sample, get you addicted, and then jack the price up on everything.
Hey, Ian, while I was prepping chicken, I heard you talking about your formic.
While you were choking your chicken, what?
Prepping, prepping my chicken.
Oh, prepping your chicken. Is that what you do before you choke your chicken?
Hi, folks. No, so I wanted to ask you: have you ever tried the freezing method yet?
No, I haven't actually. I'm just kind of dabbling with it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you've heard me talk about the guy over here that does it, so it works out good for him.
Yeah, takes that initial flash off, I guess.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
I like the way you dabble. Two on a single story. Holy moly!
Yeah, 34 degrees. It cooked that colony. Yeah, did
But
what
the
I
queen
wanted.
lived.
Quinn lived. Yeah, she's laying. She's got a patch of brood in there. Probably live. Yeah.
I mean,
That's amazing.
The saying is that formic will help you weed out the weeds. You know, so if you have a failing queen, it'll be.
Hive beetles do that for me.
You know. Yeah.
I mean, my thing is with formic. I'm trying, like you were saying with the timing for Brad, right? That he must have timed it correctly. I never know if it's going to be 85, 90 degrees or if it's going to be 65 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So at what time of year do I slap those on and I'm not gambling, right? Not that I'm not a gambler, but you know, I would prefer not to have to replace those in the fall for sure. So that's the
I really can't use it because when I want to use it, that's when oranges start. And then after that, by the time June hits, it's getting too warm. It's pushing up there at the upper limit. I don't want to use it. I don't even use Apigard until, well, I'll be putting it on in 2 weeks at least, is what the calendar says from the weatherman. So I barely have time to do that to get a couple brood cycles in. So I guess I can put formic on like in January, but you know, I don't have a lot of brood then. I mean, I have brood, but not a lot. I don't know.
Would that be a good time to do it then? I mean, just because any phoretic mites would be there, right? You'd knock them out, which means they wouldn't be able to lay as many in the brood when or not as many could get into the brood, I guess would be the better way to do it.
Yeah, and I want to use it. I've been looking at it for like the last 3 winters, but the problem is one January might be warm and one January might not be. I mean, it's just it's a weather thing for me, and it's
right.
difficult.
Same here.
So I don't want to sound like Charlie trying to buy a hive lifter for 3 years, but I might, I'm just going to probably have to bite the bullet. I might do it this year because the long range outlook looks kind of mild. So we'll see what happens.
Are we going to see Nora licensed Ian?
Say again, Doug?
Are we going to see the Nora licensed?
It's really close in the U.S., they say. So as soon as they register in the U.S., I betcha Canada comes online, right? All the ducks are in line. The paperwork's on PMRA's desk, so they just have to sign the okay on it. They won't do it until it happens in the States first. But everything's ready for it. So I'm kind of, it's been working in the trials. I can't say anything about it, but it's going to be a tool in a toolbox. Just I hope they don't price it out of our reach. Like beekeepers are desperate for another treatment, and they're going to be looking at this as a gravy train. Because if they price it too high, then everybody's just going to completely ignore it, including me. Like we got to make some money in this business too, right?
Yeah, $1.20 a pound. Not a great start on the honey.
No, what are you selling for?
We are not shipping any to Winnipeg this year. We're marketing it all locally.
Oh, do you let your contract go?
No. We sent a letter in. We're out for a year.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Do you have enough customers for that?
We're getting more customers than I want right now.
Oh, that's good.
Daughter-in-law, she's been into the cities, and we're getting quite a few of the big stores lined up too. So yeah, we might cut back on the number of yards we have and just go marketing the way we are right now.
Yeah.
All right.
None of my business, so don't answer. But are you making double the margin, or are you?
Oh yeah, what she's selling a kilogram for 14. I think it's $16 for a kilogram.
Oh yeah.
So about $8 a pound.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. And the
Now,
flavored honey's another $2 on top of that.
You'll have to buy another creamer just to keep up with the with all the the work that you put on your lap.
Well, I got 4,200 pounds creamed right now, but I had it shut down here for a couple of weeks. I got to start it up again tomorrow.
Two very different ways of marketing, right? So Ian, the majority of your honey goes directly to the co-op, correct?
Wholesale.
And Doug does what, a percent? You do like a piece of yours goes to the co-op and then a piece of yours goes to retail?
Yeah.
Now, I guess the co-op works primarily on whatever the going commercial rate is on honey, like import and export market, that type of deal.
Yeah, that's reflective to it. But they're a co-op. They're a packer, so they're selling to retail stores, and where as a member, I own part of that packer. So does Doug. So we're selling our honey through Bee Made as our packer onto the retail shelf. So we're seeing a pooled price at the end. So they're competing against import and honey. So it's reflective on the shelf. Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I'm not in any retail stores, obviously, but is it something that, I mean, obviously there's a great price disparity, but is there enough price disparity in selling at retail against wholesale to make it worth that? Or is it just some years that because the price is so low commercially that it just is better to sell at retail?
As long as Doug finds the market for it, then he's in the gravy train.
Yeah.
That's the but I mean, the other advantage is for you, Ian, once you've delivered it, you're done with it. It's finished. You don't have to worry about that part of the business.
Yeah. They might, like a sole beekeeper like me selling wholesale. They're the same as Doug there until he's selling retail. But my strategy is to run as many colonies as I possibly can without, failing. So just trying to hang on to make as much honey as I can, and then sell it wholesale.
Now, if honey, I just followed the price of beef, everybody would be happy, Ian. Except the consumer, I guess.
Yeah. Well, everybody needs their turn, right?
Yeah.
Beef prices is pretty optimistic looking ahead too.
Sure are.
Well, Brad disappeared and then he didn't come back. Or he's there because his mic's not muted. He's just not showing his beautiful face.
So, Mike, what's the latest up in the great Northeast?
We got goldenrod and asters starting.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason I haven't pulled all my honey supers in. Might get some fall honey.
I'm gonna step out, guys. Have a good night.
All right, thanks, Ian.
Right, Ian.
Good seeing you. Irish goodbye. At least he said bye that time, and it was like, I gotta go.
I just want to say, click.
Yeah. Yes.
Doug, I didn't get to say hello to you. I'm sorry about that. So I hope you're doing well up there. And of course, Brad, I didn't say hello to you either.
Yeah, sorry. I
he saw you in the back room and dipped out.
Yeah, Lloyd Harris phoned me. He had some stuff he wanted to talk about, so I had to talk to Lloyd for a few minutes, which is always a pleasure. Really, he's got a lot to offer. So
he
was asking me. He says, "Do you have refrigeration?" I said, "No, I don't." And so he started talking to me about bee winter survivorship and stuff and the dynamics. Of course, all of his, he's got the greatest data set on survivorship in the world. And so he's, well, when the temperature goes to such and such, and yeah, well, I just don't have refrigeration. That's my problem.
I'd be curious if I had the money. They have cold storage here you can rent.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's by a company called Americold or something like that, where it'd be interesting if
they would only do it once for you, and then they would realize what a disgusting mess those bees made of their cold storage room. They'd say, "Get your bees out of here!
Get your bees out of here!" Because of all the bee poop and everything else that happens.
Dead bees everywhere. 3 inches of dead bees on the floor by spring.
Have to get a shop vac that works on a 55-gallon barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, central vac, right?
To be able to suck them all up. But so this was the night, like when I spoke on Saturday when I was out with my honey at the table, that everybody thought was a good night still. So I'm going to do my best to do this every Tuesday night. Obviously, that's, when you do something by yourself, there's a lot that can impact that. With the stream team, when you got 3 guys, if one takes the day off, you still got 2, right, running the show. So
Tuesday is good because if probably a lot of the shows you go to are going to be on and around the weekend. So Tuesday night is right after that, so we got that to talk about, and Tuesday night is likely not going to interfere with going to these conferences.
Yep. So that should help out with that. Hopefully, we can keep it going. I plan to, but again, you guys would not understand probably how much consultation I've asked about this, right? Because Brad and I have talked several times, and Todd and I have talked several times, and Mike has talked to me, and I've talked to several people in the chat as well about coming back, because I am one of these guys that's like, I kind of left, and people have come back on, and there's streams every night of the week, and I don't want to infringe on anybody. And the overwhelming response was, nobody controls the internet. If you come on any night and people don't, and I'm okay with it, right? If anybody doesn't want to join because they're on a different stream, hey, that's your privilege to do that, right? So we're going to do our thing, and not trying to make anybody mad or anything like that. It's just, this is when I'm available. So if I go live on this night and you can't be here because you're on another stream, no hard feelings with that. And I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. It's just what it is. And, I appreciate everybody that did come in and did hang out with us tonight. And if you went somewhere else and hung out and then came over, I appreciate you. And if you didn't come over at all, I appreciate you too. It just is one of those things that it is what it is, right? So
always a good time.
Yep. We just try to have fun, talk bees, hang out, and we even, Ian stops in from time to time, so that's always nice. But
the odd appearance of a triceratops, perhaps.
Yeah, until the lights go out.
Until the lights go out.
So, what I'm going to do now is it is 9:55, so we're almost at 2 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for this evening. And, as usual, we'll have the back room. But, you guys in the chat, thank you for showing up, and have a good evening. And we're glad to see you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
See you later.